Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. Nike Pegasus Trail 5 legendary line of shoes in the game. And if you are looking for a legendary shoe, you already know what to do. Check out the Supwell app. It is $5 per month. It's the best place to buy, sell, and trade gently used running shoes. It's my community. There's a lot of great people in there. We're all just looking to help out each other. And that's actually how I've found some of my best running shoe deals recently. I've got a bunch of shoes for $100 or below, new, not even from the marketplace, but new, because people find these crazy deals. Oh, Puma's doing this 60% off with this code. Go ahead and slam it. And we're able to get these deals. Also, I do have an exclusive members only running warehouse code that takes 10% off of clearance shoes, 10% off of all fuel, and 20% off of all apparel. So if you're stocking up on winter apparel, you can use the Supwell app running warehouse code to get 20% off of that. Last thing is, we just launched the Supwell Kitchen Space on the app, so if you're interested in learning more about running, nutrition, and how I fuel, I'll be posting all of our best recipes on there in the coming weeks. So thanks for supporting the channel. Make sure to get in there. Make sure to use my running warehouse link to buy your shoes if you're gonna buy them new, and make sure to check out the buy, sell, trade, and marketplace if you wanna find the best new shoe deals out there. It's not even a question. Sign up for the Supwell at $5 a month, baby. That's like a soy milk oat latte. I don't know why you get soy and oat, but if you do, it's probably gonna be a lot more than $5. You get 2 types of milk, that's at least $8. 1 type of milk, Supwell app. This has gone on too long. You have this waffle recipe written down? No. I'm just getting some shots of the rain. I told you, man, everyone's asking, saying, you guys, it never rains in Charlotte, it never rains in North Carolina. Look at this. We have, it's misting on me, it's raining on me. Gray and rainy day here. So I've actually been waiting for a gray and rainy day because I've been wanting to test some of these winter wet weather shoes. People have been asking me for winter wet weather shoes, so today we're going to do the most highly requested, the Nike Peg Trail 5. I have to drive Mace to school. I will not be filming while I'm driving Mace to school, but as soon as we get back, we can pop those suckers open and see. What do you think, Mace?
Yes.
All right. See you guys in a bit.
You wanna be a boss? You gotta pay the price.
All right, we're back in the neighborhood. I think this is going to be the best of both worlds because the ground is wet, but the rain has stopped. So we're not going to be getting rained on, but we can still do a wet weather grip test and see how the waterproof is. Go through some puddles in this shoe. All right, you already know we had to pop out in the Brooks Ghost Max, but look at this. Let me show you something. So on the Supwell app, we had people posting their car trunk setups. Look at this. What I've kept in my car trunk for the past 3 years since I got these shoes, or two and a half years, is the Nike Pegasus Trail 3. So this is the 2 generations ago version of what we're going to take out this morning. Gore-Tex, full React midsole. It doesn't have any of the AirPods in it. And for a long time, it also reminds me of cookies and cream ice cream. Look at that. Doesn't that just look delicious? But for a long time, people have theorized that the version of React in the Peg Trail shoes is different from the version of React in the Pegasus, which could be possible. The downside of these shoes is the wet weather grip has not been good, but that should be revised in the Peg Trail 5. So let's see. Also, man, the design of this Peg Trail series has always just been on point. This is still one of my favorite Nike running silhouettes. It looks great. Pegasus Trail, Gore-Tex, so clean. And I think I got this shoe on sale as well. These shoes are just always on sale, and they look awesome. So let's take this inside so we can do a comparison. See you in there. Miles to go, baby. All right, here we go. Nike Peg Trail 5. So I should have mentioned, is that the right link? That's the right link. I should have mentioned, well, that was the perfect time to mention, I got this thing for under $100. Under $100 because somebody posted a deal on the Supple app. So if you like staying up to date on the latest and greatest shoe deals, if you like finding good buys and scoping out all the different shoe market shenanigans, make sure you're signed up for the Supple app. I got this for $89 on Nike.com. $89 because somebody posted it. I forget who. So it's the latest version of Peg Trail. Peg Trail is the road to trail version of Nike's Pegasus. I am not a huge fan of the Pegasus. I'm not even going to bring it out. But what's so great about these shoes is they combine elements from road shoes, like this midsole here, with elements from trail shoes, like the outsole to provide some better grip, some thicker lug depth. And also, this guy has the waterproof upper, same thing as the 5. Hold on, one more thing I should say about this. I took this up to Cape Cod a few summers ago, and I used it as my one running shoe. I ran on the beach with it. I ran on the roads with it. I also ran around Charlotte with it. So these things are really great, versatile, do-it-all shoes, and now I just keep it in my trunk. And for under $100, a do-it-all shoe that can be waterproof. I mean, look at this. It's still raining a little bit. No chickens and no slugs today. I think the chickens legit ate all of the slugs at the shoe market. That's just absolute craziness. And look at that. They left some detritus in their wake. Just complete destruction mode. All right, let's open this thing up. Bada boom, bada bang. The colorway was fire, but let's see how it looks in person. Boom, bang. Oh, yes. Yes, I have not had a good colorway like this in quite some time. I mean, holy cow. Look at this thing, man. We've been rocking with some mid colorways on the channel. The Saucony Tempest came through in the mid colorway. The Adidas shoe, that was not mid. It was just all white. But this is what you call a banger. This is what you call a complete banger. All right, so let's look at the differences between these two. Both are Gore-Tex, meaning you have waterproof upper. The silhouette is pretty similar. They've changed the sculpting in the back to come to a point. Midsole looks very similar to the Nike Pegasus 41. Difference here, again, is like the Peg Trail 3. You do not have the air unit in here. So it's just a complete slab of this React X. They've updated it from what was React here to React X, and they've also put on a new rubber. Look at that, Nike Trail ATC, Nike Trail All-Terrain Compound, and they've made the lugs a tiny bit more aggressive. They've changed the outsole pattern. By the way, there is one version in between these, the Peg Trail 4, which I did not get, but this looks pretty cool. Look at that. They have the Nike Trail backwards. That's a fun touch. So I guess when you're running and you stamp your print in the mud, it leaves Nike Trail forwards. That is really cool. And then Gore-Tex on the inside. And by the way, these trail shoes, at least from Nike, the Gore-Tex colorway is always sicker. And man, is this a sick colorway. This might have to upgrade. This might be my new Jeep shoe because these have taken a beating. And look at this. This is not going to give you that good a grip. This is completely, this is completely slick. And just look at that. Let's see if the new one's any better. I don't know. So I did bring some other winter good wet weather shoes out here. This is the Puma Deviate Nitro 3. This has the Puma grip on the bottom. Oh, yeah. I mean, look at that. So really sticky one here. Let's take a look at the Adidas Ultra Boost. This is another good one if you want a durable do-it-all shoe for the winter, and they're selling this for $135 right now. This Ultra Boost, the Boost foam, this is gonna last forever. Not as good here, not as good up here as the Puma. That's interesting. But this is the Continental. Oh, that's because look, this side, the side that I was slipping, that's not the Continental. This side is. Yeah, if you put the Continental down, that's stickier. And then last one. That's a really solid shoe. Surprisingly, Brooks Glycerin Max. This is a great shoe for the wet weather. Lots of people have been loving the grip on this. It's an absolute tank. This is the Lincoln Navigator of running shoes. It's a complete savage. Yeah, look at that. Grip on this guy is really solid. So Nike has a lot to contend with here. This is more of a standard daily trainer versus some of these shoes. It would more compete with the Ultra Boost. Again, 10mm drop. The Puma Deviate Nitro 3. This has more exciting race foam with the carbon plate. And then the Brooks Glycerin Max. This is a super max stack shoe designed for the utmost in comfort. This is a hybrid road trail shoe, daily trainer, designed to do everything, designed to be that workhorse, 10 millimeter drop, not super high in the back. I think it's high 30s in the back, high 20s in the front. And just take a look at this, though. This is why I don't love these 10 millimeter drop platforms all the time. It is so thin. It is so thin on the forefoot, even compared to the Ultra Boost here. Nike just makes these shoes with really thin forefeet. I don't even know that's how you say it. Thin forefeet. That's just the Nike vibe. Really thin up in the forefoot. The benefit is it gives you some ground feel and control. And if you are going to take this on a lot of trails, that's what you'd want. But we'll see how it does on the road. And a lot of people do use these shoes primarily for the road, especially in the winter. This model, this line, the Peg Trail line, has been known as one of the most legendary road shoes. So let's throw it on the scale, see how it weighs in, and bada boom, bada bang. What even is that? I don't even know what that is, but they just put some squiggles up there. That's fire. If you know what that is, let me know. Man, these things just look so good. 2 shades of pink, 2 shades of this turquoise teal blue. It's just a fire looking shoe. This looks so good. All right, weighing in the Peg Trail 5 here. Coming in at 310 grams. That's not too bad. That's as much as a standard daily trainer these days. Let's see how that compares to the last version or 2 versions ago, Peg Trail 3. This guy's coming in at 320 or 322. Okay, that's nice. So they lightened it up. The new React X foam is likely lighter. And let's see, maybe, no, the rubber's probably the same. So I guess it's the new React X foam that's lighter. If we compare it to something like the Ultra Boost, this guy is 295 grams, so in the same ballpark, a little bit lighter though, and you get more foam in here, so the Boost foam is taking it over the React X foam in terms of lightweight to cushioning. And then let's compare it to the Puma Deviate Nitro 3. By the way, they do have a completely weatherproof version of this shoe. This comes in at 283.5 or 283 grams because it uses a version of a race foam in here. So this one is going to have the best lightweight characteristics. And if you want a true speed running shoe for some outside winter wet weather workouts, this would be a great one in that WTR colorway or water resistant colorway that they have. And then let's just throw on the Max Stack Behemoth for comparison's sake here, 332.5 grams. So Peg Trail 5 here, not the heaviest, not the lightest. It's in the middle at 310 grams. You also do get some of the Gore-Tex properties on the upper. You get this gator around it, so it's not sculpted. It's not crafted to be a super lightweight shoe. Let's see how this one does. QA check, 307 or 308. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm also noticing some details on the inside here. What does this say? That's hilarious. It says kick dust. Can you see that? Kick dust on this one. Does it say anything on the other one? It says ooh ah point. I guess that's the point where you take a lot of pictures, or it's just a view location. So this is a desert inspired colorway, I think. That's cool. I don't know what the pink is. Do they have pink in the desert? Is it the pink desert sand? I'm not sure. But today, you know what we have? We have wet suburban pavement. All right, let's lace these things up and see how they do. All right, lacing up the Peg Trail here, and I did get it in my standard size, 10.5 men's. Ooh, step in. Gosh, very firm. Oh my gosh, this is firm. Yeah, bro, this is firm. Comfortable upper. Upper's great. That's what Nike's great at. They make great uppers. Be a firm step-in feel. Looks great, man. Just the swag on this is incredible. I love this colorway. If anything, this is just going to be a casual shoe. You got to have a swaggy Nike in your rotation, or at least a few swaggy Nikes in your rotation. Now, I'm going to pull up to the PTA meeting, popping out the Jeep in the Peg Trail 5. Let them know I'm outdoorsy. If you want to let them know you're outdoorsy, you Can't let these other dads be popping out of the Rivian in some last gen ons. We're not having it. All right. Yeah, very comfortable upper. Fit is good in true to size, but it does have that 10 millimeter drop feel where it's really putting me up on my toes. Let's do a quick walk test here once we have them fully laced. I don't know if I'm surprised or not, but this is actually a very comfortable shoe. I think I'm surprised because Nike's not known for super comfort, but it's a comfortable shoe. The foam is nice. It is on the firmer side, but for a shoe where you're going to be out on the trails or walking around a lot, I prefer a little bit of a firmer foam. This is right in that DNA Loft V2 zone, that Ghost Max 1 zone of the foam. It's nice. It feels supportive. Good cushioning in the heel. Of course, we get more ground feel up in the front, but a solid shoe. If you just like the look of these and you want to walk around in these, this is going to be comfortable. I can tell just from the step and feel and my experience with these other Nikes, this is going to be comfortable. And man, the swag is incredible. Let's take a look for a sec. This has got to be one of the best Nike colorways of the past 3 years on a running shoe. This is just outrageous. This is balling out of control. This is so good. So plan for this run. We're going to get in 8 to 10 miles here. Got a bit of a late start because of school drop-off, but you know what? We're going to make it work. And oh, look at this. Baby Slug. Baby Slug. They're back. They're back. They're building back better than ever. We got another Baby Slug. No chickens. Chickens can't stop us today. All right, let's go. Let's do this thing. Early overreaction, not even down the driveway here, but this React X foam is solid. I don't know what happened in the Peg 41, but I actually thought it was solid in the Infinity Run 4, and it's solid here. The bounce is good, the cushioning is good. I think something about the air units in the Peg 41 just make it worse, but this has the potential to be Nike's best daily trainer that I've tested this year. It's cushioned. It feels fun out of the gates here. It has decent grip. Yeah, I mean, the grip is good on the roads with the all-terrain compound, and it is still raining. It looks great. This is probably gonna be a low-key banger. And you can get it for under $100. That's insane. Now, my issue with the Peg 41 is that it felt good for 30 minutes to an hour and then just completely faded. So we'll see if this can stand up any better. But either way, with all the options we have out there on the market, this wouldn't be the one that I suggest for high mileage training. But for an emergency do-it-all shoe for up to an hour, this could be great. I'm enjoying it so far. So far, much better than the Gloomfly bricks as well. See that bird? It's majestic, stately, just like Santa. Santa's looking real majestic and stately over there. Bro, it's Santa Wars. Santa Wars in the suburbs. How are you gonna pull up with the itty bitty Santa when you're across the street neighbor got the shack size Santa? That's not even, they're out here with the Kemba Walker Santa. And these guys have the Bam Adebayo Santa. That's not fair. That's disrespectful. I don't know how Nike does it or why Nike does it, but these Peg trail shoes are consistently better than the non-trail version, but than the standard. This foam is, dare I say, good. This foam feels like a good or great training foam. This feels like the Brooks DNA Loft V3 when running. It has some bounce to it, decent amount of squish. Also, this platform is stable and the grip is good. Now, I'm not gonna have any ice to test on today, or maybe ever in the Carolinas, but in the wet here, yeah, look at this. It's sticking, it's not sliding. Much better, the grip here, all-terrain compound, much better than what was on the road shoe, the what was it, the Zoom Fly 6. This is a solid shoe so far, man. This is a really solid shoe, especially for 90 bucks. Now, I'm not gonna pick up the pace today down to 6s, but giving it a little zip here, this foam is bouncy. I'm surprised. The standard Pegasus felt that it just completely crumbled anytime I put down any power. With this, it's the opposite. The more force I'm putting down into it, the better it's feeling, the bouncier it's getting. This is an actively enjoyable ride. It's not just serviceable. It's solid. Should I do it? Should I do it? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, mile 1, 7:30. This is a smooth banger right here. This is a smooth banger. If it can keep up this bounce for 10 miles, this is their best daily trainer. So much better than the standard Peg so far. Not even close. Mile 2, 7:11 pace. So far, this is softer, bouncier, more stable, more protective, and more fun than the standard Pegasus. This is just a solid shoe. I'm really surprised. I thought it was gonna be decent. I didn't think it was gonna be this good. And I mean, maybe it's the same exact React X. It feels different though. It does feel different to me than the React X and the standard Peg. Also, the grip. This is Adidas Puma level on this ATC all-terrain compound. It's sticking, man. I'm telling you, it is sticking. Now, these are slick suburban roads, so your mileage may vary depending on where you're running and if there's mud, if there's ice, what temperature it is. But out here on, just take a look, you can see it's smooth blacktop that's wet with some leaves scattered about. I'm having no issues at all. I love a good pink shoe. Saucony Endorphin Pro 3 in pink, Super Blast 2 in pink, this in pink. You know, some guys feel insecure about wearing pink, and they let me know too. And I said, bro, if you're insecure about wearing pink, here's what you do. You go outside, you get off the internet, get whatever color shoe you want, and go give your mom some grandchildren, all right? And stop being insecure about wearing pink. Nothing small about the T count over here, baby. Quick gravel trail test. I don't know where it goes or if I'm allowed to be in here. But let's bang this gravel trail real quick. Solid. All right, we're in the electricity plant. I'm definitely not supposed to be here. I'm just gonna turn around. If you need to do gravel trails, I think this will be fine. I'm not trying to get arrested today or electrocuted. So gravel trail full test another day. Almost at the halfway point here, between mile 4 and 5. This has that classic Nike quality of you're gonna get out of it what you put into it. So even though it is soft and bouncy, or softer and bouncier than the standard peg, still is a workhorse. It's not doing the work of running for me. Meaning, as I'm getting more tired, it's not gonna give me a ton of propulsion. But that's a classic Nike quality right there. Shoes make you work. Woo! Wet uphill, still mobbing in the Peg Trail 5 Cactus Edition. I was reading this book on running science, the psychology of endurance running, and how we can unlock greater potential. There's all these things they tried, all these different supplements and techniques to unlock more gas in the tank. And the conclusion of this book was that the best thing we can do is believe in ourselves. So I just read a book, spent 2 weeks of my life reading this book, for the conclusion to be, you gotta boss yourself up. You gotta say, I'm the biggest boss since Rick Ross. You gotta wake up, look in the mirror, and say, today is my day to go out there and beat the road down. I'm a top 10 endurance athlete in my state. What do these other boys know? That's the best thing you can do to unlock more performance. Come out here and consistently grind and tell yourself you're the gosh dang champion, and we're forging winners out here. They can't stop us. It's not a game. They're playing chess. Guess what? We're playing Buffalo Bills table crashing. We're gonna come rip that chessboard in half. Checkmate. King's on the floor, bishop's in the air, the queen is spinning around beside your chair. We just flipped the script on them. Let's go. In demon slug mode. Biggest baller out the south since Zion. Beating down the road in the Carolinas like Dale Earnhardt. I haven't seen numbers like this in the land of the pines since 23. You can't stop us. Man, you really have to look yourself in the mirror every day or come out here and say that. It's not a game. You know what? No one else is gonna come up and say, you're the gosh dang person to do it. You gotta tell yourself, you gotta turn yourself into a savage. No one's gonna do it for you. So when you show up on that start line, or that Zoom call, or that shift, they can't stop you. We're undefeated. We're the biggest winner out the south since Nick Saban. Roll Tide. I'm not even an Alabama fan. More like roll mileage. Carolina mileage heals. The Carolina mileage devils. Hills, baby. You gotta get on boss talk. This is not any frilly, soft cupcake, sunshine and rainbow lollipops on a fresh foam slab of 40mm stack. You gotta tell yourself, I can do this. No one's gonna tell you that. You gotta get on that Brooks Hyperion Max OG status. Hard. Hard. You gotta turn yourself into some DNA Flash. V2. We're snatching souls today, baby. Demon slug time, let's go. You gotta make the miles come to you. No one's gonna run them for you. Your mama can't run them for you. Your daddy can't run them for you. Your dog can't run them for you. Your great aunt Denise cannot run them for you. Uncle Larry cannot run them for you. Your mortgage broker cannot run them for you. Your stockbroker cannot run them for you. Your manager, Sharon, cannot run the miles for you. The only person who can run the miles for you is yourself. So get on that boss talk. Lace up your shoes with your steel wool socks and get that mileage up, baby. Let's go. R.I.P. George Washington Carver, man. When life gives you peanuts, you gotta make peanut butter, spread it on a non-burnt bagel. 10 miles and 20 hundredths, 7:14 pace, 1 mile, 13 minutes and 49 seconds. Back in that mode. I don't know if I was never not in that mode, but we were certainly in that mode this morning. Getting mileage. Getting mileage in the Jimmy Butler 6s out here. Look at like Miami Vice 2021. This is a crispy colorway. This is the best Nike colorway. This might be the best Nike colorway of all time. And look at this. They didn't even go white. They went off-white. R.I.P. Virgil. A lot of R.I.P. this morning. We're going nuts. R.I.P. Jimmy Carter while we're at it, too. A wise man once said, to run or not to run. That is the question. Oh, this thing actually looks so good. I think a good colorway can give 0.5. 0.5 performance points in my book. Seriously, a good colorway can give you, if this shoe is a 7, it bumps it up to a 7.5. But the thing is, sometimes a great colorway, like the Nike Kipchoge, and I'm doing a weird stance here because there's a huge puddle, like the Kipchoge colorway, that could not even save the Gloom Fly bricks from mediocrity. I have to take off the Team Tillman shirt because it is very wet and gross out here. But let's get down into this breakdown. Nike Gore-Tex Pegasus Trail 5. So this is the all-terrain edition of the Pegasus, and it has a lot of the things that make the Pegasus great for some people and that made past versions of the Pegasus great. So flexibility, some forefoot ground feel, a nice foam right in that, not too soft, not too firm, and this is a very comfortable shoe. That's the biggest thing that I'm surprised about. It is actively comfortable. This is a shoe that I will 100% be wearing casually. This is dad drip certified. This with that Carbon County sweater, that's hobby jogger chic, baby. Hobby can't even talk. Hobby jogger chic. That is hobby jogger chic, by the way. I gotta make some hoodies or crew necks. Let me know what you want to see on a hoodie or crew neck. That's the next thing coming. We're gonna get the hobby jogger hats, running hats back in stock so that they're just always there. And then I want to make some crew necks or hoodies. Let me know if you have suggestions for what you want to see on those. But performance of this guy, man, the foam is bouncy, it's comfortable, and especially if you're landing more mid to rear foot, it's gonna give you a lot of pep. That's the number one thing I'm surprised about. Way peppier than the standard Pegasus, and I think the air zoom unit in the standard Pegasus is actually doing more harm than good, because without the air unit in this, it's way smoother. You don't feel that bottoming out sensation. Sometimes that air zoom unit can feel like you're running on top of a pebble or a rock in the forefoot. I did not get that here. And the other thing I'm surprised about and pleased about is even though you do have the trail outsole with thicker rubber, it's not so thick that it's this super rigid platform. That can be the issue when you have a really thick rubber outsole with 5mm lugs, like, or even 4mm lugs, like is on Ultra Olympus or the Norda 001. Those are some of the trail shoes I've been using recently. Those are very not flexible and stiff, and also firmer foam. So if you were to take this on a super technical trail, it's not going to be the most protective. It does have ground feel, but for this exact use case out here today, getting some wet weather miles in, it's going to be great. So the upper, of course, Gore-Tex. We all know Gore-Tex, or if you don't, Gore-Tex is the best wet weather compound or material in the game. My feet are completely dry. There's no water getting in here whatsoever. So that's going to be the difference between this and something like the Puma Deviate Nitro 3 with the WTR, or one of the Saucony Run Shield shoes, or one of the Asics shoes, or different brands. I think Asics actually has Gore-Tex on the Cumulus, but different brands have their own proprietary shield water resistant materials. Gore-Tex is waterproof, baby. You could take this into a water park, your feet ain't getting wet if you go down the slip and slide at Six Flags. So very protective when it comes to the water. The feel is good. It's not too narrow up here, actually. I don't have an issue. Nike has fixed their fit on some of their shoes. The Pegasus was extremely narrow, so everything about this is better than the Pegasus. Wider toe box, I'm not getting that pinching. Comfortable fit in my 10.5, true to size. And then if we're thinking about durability, I should have grabbed my other one up there, but I have a ton of miles on that thing, 2-3 years where I've used it occasionally, and it's solid. And you can see these are probably, what, 2 to 3 millimeter rubber. I don't even know if you would call these lugs, but just grip here. It's gonna give the foam a lot of protection, so you're not gonna be wearing down into the foam, and the rubber wraps all the way up the back of the platform. Now, downsides of this shoe. Because it has this gator upper material up here, this blue piece in the back, I felt that there was not slipping, but just some looseness. Now, I don't have a lot of upper issues, and I don't typically complain about an upper not feeling dialed in. But if you do have that issue, what I would recommend is just putting the laces through the top hole. Meredith Johnson actually Shout out Meredith and Garrett Johnson putting in work on the Supwell app. She commented on the Supwell app that that's a good way to fix any slipping issues to bring it through the top hole. So I didn't do that today. Maybe I'll do that next time just to get a more secure fit here. Other thing is, if you are landing on the forefoot, so another downside, you might find this thin. You might find this thin up in the forefoot, but that's why people like Nike. So if you typically like Nike shoes and the feel of that 10mm drop in the ground feel, you are gonna love this thing. So $90 for a really solid daily trainer. I mean, that's a hit if you can still find it for $90. So let's answer our 3 questions here to close it out. How does this compare to its intended purpose? Now, this is designed to be a hybrid road and trail shoe. I need some water. Yeah, he's always listening to R&B in the OG Malibu. I don't even think they make the Chevy Malibu anymore. Designed to be a hybrid road trail shoe, designed to have better wet weather grip with the all-terrain compound here. This absolutely crushes it, knocks it out of the park. Now, this was the first run primarily on road, 99.7% on the road. I did do 1 minute down a gravel path and I did not fall. So I guess that's good, but we didn't do any legit trail testing today, so I cannot tell you how this is going to perform in mud. However, if you are buying a shoe specifically for muddy trails, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't buy this if that is your #1 use case. There's just so many better shoes out there, even from Nike. They have shoes with better lug depth. They're gonna grip the trails more. My personal favorite right now is the Norda 001. That is an expensive shoe. I'm not gonna recommend it for everyone, but something like the Hoka Speedgoat 5, even Nike's Zagama, I know people like that one. There's just a ton. I'm not the trail guy. Go look at the Ultra video that I posted. People had a bunch of recommendations there, but this is not gonna be the shoe if you want technical trail capability. But for something like this, where you want wet weather performance in the rain, where you want to keep your feet nice and dry and have something that looks good that you can go to a coffee shop or have a versatile do-it-all shoe, this will be great. And where it even transcends its use case, it's supposed to be hybrid road to trail, but because it looks so good and feels so good, so comfortable, this can double as a do-it-all shoe. Why do I have the Peg Trail 3 in the back of the Jeep? Because I know if I need a shoe for anything, if I need a shoe for the gym, if I need a shoe to go run around and play soccer with the kids, if I need a shoe to go hiking, if I need an emergency shoe when I'm on a trip to go do some treadmill running, I know it's just gonna work. And that's the same thing with this. If you need a sneaker, this is gonna be great. This is one of the best athletic sneakers all around. You could play other sports in it too because it has decent stability and the upper wraps up. So one of the best athletic shoes out there for under $100. Now, second question, how does it compare to its competitors? And the other cool thing about this shoe is, hold on, let me check the time. How are we doing on time? We're doing okay. There's not a lot of competitors directly for this shoe. Asics has a gel Cumulus with the Gore-Tex. Adidas has a Supernova Rise Gore-Tex that they came out with, or they're actually just calling it Supernova Gore-Tex. But there's nothing directly that's a road trail hybrid with the Gore-Tex with the bigger lug depth. Also, that looks as good. So Nike has the market on this cornered. Again, you could look at the Cumulus Gore-Tex, but that doesn't even have rubber on the bottom. The Supernova would probably be the closest one to this. I haven't tested that yet, but for what this is, it's great, especially at the sale price of $100 or below, even going up to $140, $160, it's great. You're gonna get more performance, more versatility out of this than the standard Pegasus. The ride is better, so at $90, it's an absolute no-brainer. And the third question here, how does it compare to everything else on the market, man? Again, there's not much else like this. It's not gonna give you as much technical capability as a true trail shoe, but if you do want something to dabble your feet into trail, if you want something to occasionally go hiking in for the summer, or even if you want a shoe to walk around in the snow, the wet, cold outside, this is gonna be great. So I endorse this shoe. After one run, 10 miles, it can sing. What was our average pace was like 7:15, so normal run. It didn't slow me down. That's my fear sometimes with running in these trail shoes or more trail-oriented shoes on the road. Are they gonna slow me down? This didn't, and the grip is fantastic. As I said earlier, up there with Adidas and Puma. Surprisingly, man, Nike Trail all-terrain compound, it is legit. This stuff is legit. I would love to see them put this just across all their other shoes here. It can really stick. It can really stick, and this shoe can pick up the pace. So if you're looking for one shoe to do it all for the winter, man, this is a complete banger. try to pick up this colorway if you can. I would say use my Running Warehouse link, but I don't think Running Warehouse even has the best deals on this. You're gonna find the best deals on this on Nike.com. And of course, if you want to see other deals and get in with other hobby joggers, other running sickos who are in it for the love of the game, make sure to sign up for the Supwell app, $5 per month. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Hold on, one more thing. I know people are gonna say, what about the Vomero? The Vomero is still solid, but that came out nearly 18 months ago. So the Vomero is also a good shoe. The grip on that is terrible though. The grip on the Vomero is not good. It slips and slides in the wet. And this has a lot of the characteristics of the Vomero. Very similar feel. Vomero is softer, maybe touch bouncier, but you get more proprioception in this. You get more ground feel and control in this. Vomero is a touch more comfort oriented, but this rivals it, at least on the first run. So might be probably is Nike's best daily trainer right now. Definitely Nike's best daily trainer of 2024. Peg Trail 5, baby. Look at this thing. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yo, they're still scared to rock the patterns with the pink, man. Get your tee up. Get your tee up, rock some pink. One more thing, if I want to be out here throwing around superlatives, I had to double back for the high mileage test. So that's a slight Peyton Manning right there. Peyton or Peyton? Peyton. 8 miles in 21 hundredths. 7:59 pace, man. We've been slow this week. That's what happens when you hit a 30-mile long run. Take some of the juice out of your legs. But these recovery runs are always slower. And what was it this morning? 7:15 pace. So we got two different types of runs. First run this morning, I would say, is an aerobic base building run. So a standard run at around that 7:15 pace. That's where I'm going to get the most training benefits on my everyday miles. And this second run, recovery run. It's dark out here, huh? It's still wet. The grip was still good. Might be a slight notch below Puma and Adidas, but still really good. The main thing I wanted to talk about, though, was how does it perform for a double day? And this is a good proxy for a long run, high mileage test. I'm guessing most people aren't going to be running 18 miles per day in this shoe, and I wouldn't advise running 18 miles days in this shoe. If you're going to be running 18 miles a day very often, there's just so many better shoes to help do that. This might be a good one to have in your rotation, but Puma Mag Max from Nike, you have the Invincible. There's just so many, the Puma Deviate Nitro 3, a lot of better shoes for high mileage, but this is serviceable and solid for that. And that's what you want in a daily trainer. It's not bottoming out. It still has some pop. Now, I did notice on the second run, stability wasn't as great. It feels narrower, and the more tired I get and the more fatigued we feel, the more that narrowness is noticeable because our tendons aren't doing as much of that job stabilizing the shoe. So the shoe needs to do more of the work for us. So that's why a lot of the modern cushion training shoes like the Supernova Primas, the Asics Gel Nimbus, Hoka Skyflow, Hoka Skyward X, any of these more cushion shoes, they've gone to wider bases. This still has a relatively narrow base, as is typical for Nike. But for a Nike, this is great if you're looking for that ground feel. And it doesn't feel like a trail shoe. So this passes the high mileage test for sure. 18-mile day. And I'm still happy with it. If we can get through 18 miles feeling good in any daily trainer, that's solid. I still much prefer this over the standard Pegasus. This is a great shoe, especially for that $90, man. That's just a crazy deal. And there's one more thing I wanted to talk about. So I know a lot of people are wondering about TRE, the running event, whether I'm going to be down there, and clearly I'm not. I'm here in Mint Hill, and it's borderline heart-breaking because last year, going to the running event put the channel and the business on the map. I'm the CEO of a running business, so I should be there, but at the same time, I still have a 9-to-5. I need the health insurance to provide for my family. I need the paycheck to put food on the table, to pay the mortgage, and so there's trade-offs with everything. I always talk about, as hobby joggers, we need to operate within our constraints, and that's just one of my constraints right now. And one of the ways I'm able to even support the business is by working a full-time job. So there was just conflicts this time around, and I really wish I could be there covering the shoes and getting it out for you and just selfishly to grow the business, make relationships, because the two main events that have grown the business and taken it to the next level, the running event last year, before that we had 1,500 subscribers, and overnight we doubled, and it was one of the biggest moments of growth I've ever experienced as part of any business. And then going to the Running Warehouse event this summer, again, it was 20%, 30% growth within a few weeks from getting outside of Mint Hill and going and meeting people, making connections, getting the brand out there. So in the words of Larry June, sometimes you got to take an L before you get it right. This is a mild L. It's a step back for sure, not being able to be there this year. But I was talking to Charlie last night, and she could tell that I was super bummed out because I was deciding up until yesterday, honestly up until today, whether I would just buy a ticket and go. But it's just not in the cards this year. And she said, we'll make sure so that next year you're in a position where you don't need to ask anybody's permission to go. So, man, Charlie's been there for the highest of highs, the lowest of lows. She's seen me at the lowest moments. She's seen me. Man, we've been through it when we could barely afford a slice of pizza in college and just grinding it out. So to hear her say that was helpful for sure. So now when life gives you peanuts, you got to grind, make peanut butter. Of course, I'm going to be consistent with these daily videos, and you guys know I preach consistency and putting in the work. Sometimes that's all we can do. We can control what we can control. We can put in the work. We can get better. And when the time is right, we'll grow and take it to the next level. That's not now. It's super disappointing. And it's not how we're going to grow the business this year, but we'll take that step when it's right. So thank you to everybody for supporting the channel, not going to the running event this year. I'm going to make sure to be there next year and maybe even have some sort of hobby jogger meetup. That'd be cool, huh? All right, back to the 9-to-5 grind. I'll see you guys later. One more thing I was going to say, man. It's so helpful in life when we're in these tough moments, disappointing moments, to have people who believe in you and support you around. So surround yourself with positivity. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, and that'll make it a whole lot easier to get where you need to go. Consistency and support. And, man, oh, my gosh, look at this. These things are finally cooked, man. I think maybe being in the Jeep for a summer, the glue just melted off. I'm guessing it was 100 or something, 105 back there. The glue finally melted off of these guys. So this is now promoted, upgraded to the new official Supwell Hobby Jogger Wagon Emergency Shoe. Look at that. Bang. These guys are, I don't even know. Let me know. I don't want to throw it out. Should I super glue it and donate it? Should this be the emergency shoe? Or should I just throw it out? I don't know. All right, man. Back to the grind. Like George Washington Carver putting in work. Gotta let him know. Supwell running. We taking over 2025. One more thing, man. Sitting at my desk with the Sad Boy Refuel, the cold noodles, trying to do numbers at the day job on the slide decks. And look at this. We got people on the Supwell app still posting TRE previews. So you can take the player out of the game, but you can't take the game out of the player. Even if I'm not at TRE, we're still at TRE. We're coming, man. The butcher coming. I told you, Supwell 2025, we're taking over the game. Just watch out.